Your neighbors are hiding something from you right now. What they are keeping secret will change everything you thought you knew about your street. This isn't small talk or gossip. This is something real that affects your home, your family, and your future. They don't want you to find out. They've worked hard to keep this information away from you. But the truth is coming out today. What you're about to learn will shock you. It will make you question everything you've seen around your neighborhood. The signs have been there all along. Have you noticed your neighbors acting strange lately? Maybe they stop talking when you walk by. Perhaps they exchange looks that seem to carry hidden meaning. You might have seen them gathering at odd times. Early morning meetings before work. Late night conversations in driveways when most people are asleep. There's a feeling in the air that something is different. Conversations that suddenly end when you appear. Groups that form and break apart quickly when you come outside. Your gut has been telling you something is happening. That feeling wasn't wrong. You've been picking up on real signs of organized secrecy. The strange timing of activities around your street isn't random. The hushed voices and quick glances aren't coincidence. There's a pattern to all of this. A pattern designed specifically to keep you in the dark about what's really going on. This secret your neighbors are keeping doesn't just affect them. It directly impacts your life in ways you haven't realized yet. What they are hiding could change your property value. It might affect your safety or the safety of your family. There are consequences to not knowing what's happening right under your nose. This has been going on for longer than you think. Months, maybe even years of careful planning and coordination. While you've been living your normal life, something big has been developing around you. Here's what makes this urgent. Other neighbors already know. You're one of the few being kept out of the loop. There's crucial information that others have access to but you don't. The longer you stay uninformed, the harder it becomes to protect yourself. There may be legal implications. There may be financial costs. Time is running out to get ahead of this situation. Like this video right now to discover the full truth about your neighbors. What your neighbors are hiding started as a small idea among a few people, but it grew into something much bigger than anyone expected. They made a conscious choice to keep you out of it. This wasn't an oversight or accident. There were actual discussions about who would be told and who would be kept in the dark. The level of organization is shocking. They've created systems to make sure information doesn't leak to certain people. You're on that list of people who aren't supposed to know. There have been meetings you weren't invited to. Gatherings where decisions were made about your street, your block, your community. Important choices that affect everyone. But only some people got a voice. Multiple neighbors are involved in this. People you wave to every morning. Families you've known for years. They are all part of something they haven't shared with you. This has been planned for months. Every step carefully thought through. Every detail considered. The timing, the approach, the way information would be controlled. Remember that neighborhood barbecue you weren't invited to last summer? Or that meeting about community improvements that somehow you never heard about? These weren't accidents. They were part of the system. Your personal observations now make sense. Those quick conversations that ended when you approached. The way certain neighbors seem to know things you don't. The feeling that you're missing pieces of important information. The full scope of this secret goes deeper than you imagine. What you're about to learn connects to things you've seen but didn't understand at the time. Type truth in the comments right now to continue learning what they are hiding. The hidden activity involves organized coordination among most of your neighbors. They communicate through private channels you don't have access to. Group chats, email lists, private social media groups. Evidence exists in writing. There are documents, meeting notes, and communication records that prove everything. These papers detail exactly what's been discussed and decided without your input. This all started because of a specific opportunity or problem that affected the neighborhood. Some neighbors saw it as a chance to benefit. Others saw it as a necessary response. But they all agreed on one thing: keep certain people uninformed. The benefits your neighbors are getting from this secret are real. Financial advantages, property improvements, access to resources or information. Things that could have benefited you too if you'd been included. Your property and your daily life are affected by what they are doing. Decisions made in those secret meetings have already started changing things around you. You just haven't connected the dots yet. Remember when street parking suddenly changed? When that construction project started with no warning? When property lines were suddenly being discussed? These incidents now make complete sense. The network includes people you wouldn't expect. The quiet family at the end of the street. The new couple who moved in last year. Even some of the longest-term residents you thought you knew well. Information has been deliberately withheld using specific tactics. Conversations steered away from certain topics when you're present. Details left out of casual neighborhood talk. A system of keeping you uninformed without making it obvious. They've created an entire structure for managing who knows what. And the most shocking revelation is still coming. If you want to support content that exposes neighborhood secrets and brings truth to light, you can give super thanks of $5, $10, $20, or more. Your support helps fund this investigative work that reveals what communities try to hide from their own residents. Type 777 right now to unlock the most shocking part of what your neighbors are hiding. The most shocking aspect is the scale of what they've been hiding. This isn't just about neighborhood gossip or minor decisions. This involves real money, legal agreements, and binding commitments. The full scope includes changes to shared spaces, property boundaries, or community rules. Things that will be permanent once they are finalized. Things that can't easily be undone. Long-term implications for you include how you can use your property, what you can build or change, and possibly even the value of your home. These aren't small matters. These are life-changing decisions. Financial impacts are already in motion. Money has been spent or committed. Contracts may have been signed. Resources allocated in ways that benefit some neighbors but not others. The timeline for when this affects you directly is closer than you think. Within weeks or months, you'll see changes that will make this secret impossible to hide. By then, it may be too late to have any say. Legal aspects involve property rights, zoning regulations, or homeowner association rules. There may be official documentation filed with local authorities, papers with legal weight that you knew nothing about. This connects to larger community issues like development plans, infrastructure changes, or local government decisions. Your neighbors tapped into something bigger and used it to their advantage. What they gain by keeping you uninformed is simple: less opposition, easier approval, and full control over outcomes. If everyone knew, there would be debates, disagreements, and delays. Official proof exists in county records, permit applications, or association documents. The paper trail is real. Some of it is public record that you could have accessed if you'd known to look. The careful planning involved lawyers, contractors, and local officials. This isn't amateur hour. This is organized and professional. Type Protect now to learn how to safeguard yourself from this hidden neighborhood activity. You weren't included for specific reasons. There was actual discussion about which neighbors to inform and which to leave out. Your name came up in those conversations. The criteria for who was told versus who was kept in the dark involved factors like how long you've lived there, your relationships with certain neighbors, or assumptions about how you'd react. What neighbors discussed about you specifically included predictions about whether you'd support or oppose their plans. They talked about your opinions, your personality, your likely response. The decision-making process for secrecy involved weighing risks and benefits. They calculated that keeping you uninformed was safer than bringing you in. Less chance of conflict or complications. Attempts to keep information from spreading included agreements among those in the know. Promises not to mention certain things around specific people. A code of silence enforced by social pressure. Consequences they fear if you find out include your anger, your potential to organize opposition, or your ability to slow down or stop what they are doing. They know you have power if you're informed. Power dynamics are at play here. Those who control information control outcomes. By keeping you in the dark, they maintain their advantage and their control over neighborhood decisions. Specific conversations about keeping you uninformed happened multiple times. Your name was mentioned. Arguments were made for and against telling you. The decision was made consciously and deliberately. The timeline for when they planned to reveal this, if ever, was either never or only after it was too late for you to do anything about it. If you believe in exposing neighborhood secrets and protecting residents from being left in the dark, you can give super thanks of $5, $10, $20, or more. Your support helps create content that brings transparency to communities and protects people from situations exactly like this one. Type action right now to learn the specific steps you need to take immediately. The current status of this situation is active and moving forward right now. While you watch this video, things are happening in your neighborhood related to this secret. What's happening right now includes final preparations for changes that will soon be visible to everyone. The hidden phase is almost over. Soon this will be out in the open whether they want it to be or not. Imminent changes or developments are scheduled for the coming weeks. Work will begin. Announcements will be made. Physical changes to your neighborhood will start becoming obvious. The final phases of their plan involve implementation and execution. The planning stage is complete. Now comes the action stage, the point where theory becomes reality. The endgame or ultimate goal is a changed neighborhood that benefits those who were involved in the planning while leaving others to adapt to changes they had no voice in creating. What your life will look like when this unfolds depends on the specific secret, but it involves adjusting to new realities you didn't help create. New rules, new structures, new ways of doing things. The point of no return is approaching fast. Once certain steps are taken, reversal becomes impossible or extremely expensive. The window to influence outcomes is closing. Critical decisions are being made right now without your input. Final approvals, final signatures, final commitments, all happening while you remain unaware. Mechanisms that will activate soon include construction starting, rules being enforced, or systems being implemented. The abstract becomes concrete very quickly. Deadlines exist that you don't know about. Dates by which things must be decided or completed. Time-sensitive elements that create urgency for those in the know. First, verify what you've learned here by looking for the signs mentioned. Pay attention to neighbor behavior over the next few days. Watch for patterns in their meetings and conversations. Check public records at your local county office or city hall. Property records, permit applications, and homeowner association documents are often publicly available. Look for recent filings that involve your street or neighborhood. Talk to neighbors you trust. Ask careful questions about neighborhood activities or meetings. See if they reveal information or act uncomfortable with your questions. Contact your homeowner association if you have one. Request copies of meeting minutes and recent decisions. You have a right to this information as a member. Document everything you observe. Take photos of unusual activities. Keep notes of conversations and dates. This creates a record if you need to take action later. Reach out to local government offices that handle zoning, permits, or community development. Ask about any applications or changes affecting your area. Know your legal rights as a property owner and resident. Research local laws about notification requirements for neighborhood changes. Consider attending the next neighborhood or association meeting. Your presence alone sends a message that you're paying attention. The consequences of ignoring this versus taking action are significant. Informed residents have power. Uninformed residents become subjects of other people's decisions. Type I will ACT in the comments to show you are ready to take control of this situation. Your neighbors have been hiding something significant from you. The secret involves organized coordination, real consequences, and deliberate decisions to keep you uninformed. This situation is urgent. Changes are coming whether you're ready or not. The difference is whether you face them informed and prepared or caught off guard. You now have information they didn't want you to have. This knowledge gives you power to protect yourself and your interests. Truth always finds its way out eventually. Secrets this big cannot stay hidden forever. The question is whether you discover them in time to act or too late to matter. Stay informed. Stay vigilant. Pay attention to what happens around you. Your awareness is your best protection. Subscribe now and share this video to help others discover what their neighbors are hiding.